Happy New Year, Chiefs Kingdom. It was a wild 2020. It was challenging for a lot of us, but we had a fun time on the Kansas City Chiefs Report. Let's keep the momentum into 2021. Help me out. Let's get more subscribers. So subscribe if you haven't already and share that link below with a friend. It's youtube.com/ChiefsTV. Let's have an even bigger year in 2021. Over 11,000 subscribers in 2020. Let's double that. Let's get over 20,000 new subs in 2021. So help me out. Hit that big red button and subscribe. And coming up, we got today's Chiefs Mailbag. Harrison Graham here, as always. Appreciate everybody who submitted their questions. Let's go ahead and get into it. Don Luke Pickard used hashtag Chiefs. Do you see the Chiefs replacing Chad Henne as the number 2 quarterback in 2021? If so, who? I think the Chiefs should probably target a quarterback on day 3 of the NFL draft. They're not going to have a ton of cap space. And look, we know that Brett Veach can get really creative with the salary cap. But unless your backup is an aging Henne or Matt Moore for the veterans minimum, I would like to see Andy Reid find a guy on day 3 that is like, hey, I could develop that guy into a solid backup. He can learn under Patrick Mahomes. And you've got a cheap, young backup for the next several years, and you see what happens when his rookie contract runs out. I think they should look QB on day 3. Day 3, of course, rounds 4 through 7. Probably not round 4, probably round 5 or 6. See if you could find a developmental guy to be Mahomes' backup in 2021. Look, if you want to bring back Henne or Moore for 1 year, I got no problem with that. It's just they're old. They don't really inspire a lot for me. I'd rather bring in a guy that you can mold and groom a little bit for the future. Maybe he turns into a trade chip down the road. Who knows what the case may be. We'll see, as both Chad Henne and Matt Moore are obviously free agents after this season. So who will be the Chiefs' backup quarterback next season? Let me know down in the comment section. My prediction, he's not on the roster. I think it'll be a different backup in 2021, but let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Next up, from Kansas City Chiefs themselves, hashtag Chiefs, who should we re-sign in free agency? Obviously, the Chiefs have several notable free agents. I think the biggest decision they have to make is what are they going to do with Sammy Watkins? They got to decide on Sammy. Now, obviously, this year he's been banged up. He's missed several games, only has like 400 and something yards and 4 touchdowns, but he's delivered for the biggest games the past 2 years in the playoffs, both 2 seasons. Can you get Sammy back on a bit of a hometown discount? Maybe. Do you even want to do that if you're Kansas City? Do you just want to move on and continue to give Mecole Hardman more opportunities and maybe re-sign DeMarcus Robinson or someone like that? That's going to be the decision that Kansas City has to make. So we'll see. Obviously, Dan Sorensen, Bashaud Breeland, Charvarius Ward, several other notable free agents as well. We'll talk about the quarterback position in just a second. But as always, follow me on Twitter at HGrahamNFL. If the Chiefs make some roster moves this offseason, I'll have it right there and, of course, here on the channel. So should the Chiefs re-sign Sammy Watkins? Type Y for yes, type N for no. It depends on money. That's the bottom line there. Other teams are going to be able to offer more than Kansas City will, but he seems like a guy who really likes playing for the Chiefs. So I think that's 50-50. Let me know what you guys think in the comments section. Now get going with our sports betting partner, BetUS. You see the link below. It's chatsports.com/ChiefsBet. You can use that promo code Chiefs125 when you sign up and deposit. That's going to give you a 125% deposit bonus. Put down $100. They'll give you another $125 for free. Producer Sam is a big gambler, but luckily he's had some extra money despite some reckless bets this year because he used that promo code Chiefs125. You can do the same as well. Make some bets all postseason long and bet on the Chiefs because we all know they continue to win. Devin Nutter next up, hashtag Chiefs. Should the Chiefs re-sign Charvarius Ward? I think so. If not, who could replace him? Devin, I think you're one of the only people that wants Charvarius Ward to come back next year. I'm okay if he comes back, if it's for cheap, but I don't think it's very likely because I just think the Chiefs will likely look at other guys at the cornerback position. You've got a young guy in Rashad Fenton who I think deserves more snaps and opportunities. Maybe you turn to him next year. L'Jarius Sneed, who we'll talk about in a little bit, he's a young up-and-comer. I think Bashaud Breeland's probably more of a focus in free agency for Kansas City than a guy like Charvarius Ward is. Now, if it comes down to money, Ward's going to be cheaper, so maybe they end up opting for him. But I would say right now, I don't think it's super likely. I don't think it's impossible, but I'd put it at like 30% that Charvarius Ward returns next season. We'll see what actually happens once we get to free agency. Now pick one to re-sign. I don't think you'd like to let both go. You want some depth, you want some competition there. Type BB for Bashaud Breeland, type CW for Charvarius Ward. Pick a corner to re-sign for 2021. If it's me, I'm re-signing Breeland. My outside corners are Breeland and Sneed, and then I'm putting Rashad Fenton in the slot. Or you could put Sneed in the slot and Fenton on the outside. That's what I would do. But let me know. If you want Ward, you can certainly type CW. Brother Rick is next up. The Chiefs need to draft more blue-chip offensive linemen to protect their $500 million investment. The Chiefs need to take a hard look at their offensive line this offseason. That is a major focus, in my opinion, for what you just said. One, you have the most expensive investment in the NFL over the next decade plus. And two, just from a practical on-field standpoint, what have we seen in recent weeks? The offense has not been as sharp, and Mahomes hasn't been as efficient because this offensive line can't protect right now. You only have 2 of your opening day 5 starters right now. What happens with Mitchell Schwartz at right tackle? That's a big question mark. Do you keep Eric Fisher or do you cut him to save money? Got to make a decision there. Your 3rd-round pick from this year, Lucas Niang, is he back in the fold next year? He opted out this year, so it's almost like a free draft pick there, but at the same time, he hasn't played in a year at that point. So lots of question marks, and let's be honest, the interior of this offensive line hasn't been that great. Hopefully LDT returns. Maybe you re-sign Kelechi Osemele as well. You've got options. You've got areas you can look at, but it's not going to be as simple as just lining up who you got, because I think you got to take a major look at this offensive line. So what is the Chiefs' biggest need heading into 2021? This has shifted for me several times. I've thought linebacker, I've thought corner, I've thought even defensive end at times, defensive tackle, offensive line. I think I'm at offensive line at this point because this team has struggled to run the football without Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and even with him, it wasn't super easy with this O-line. So I'm going with the big bullies up front. I think the Chiefs need to add 1 or 2 pieces there. Eric O'Connor will wrap up our mailbag today, #Chiefs. How great is the need for Sneed? Is he playoff ready? I think so. What do you think? What I think is L'Jarius Sneed is a stud, and Brett Veach found a gem in the 4th round of the NFL draft. What a great pick he's been. You could tell early on that this guy is not going to be overwhelmed. He won't be overwhelmed by playing in the playoffs. His first couple of games, he had, 2 or 3 picks or whatever it was, and then he went to IR with the collarbone. You're like, oh, by the time he comes back, he's not going to be the same guy. The rookie stuff will set in. He's been really good since he's been back. I like L'Jarius Sneed a lot. I think he needs to continue to get more snaps. Played about 70% of the snaps against the Atlanta Falcons. I'd continue to increase that number. Quite frankly, I think Rashad Fenton should play more too, but that's just me. But I love L'Jarius Sneed. I think he's got real potential as a high-end number 2 corner in the NFL. And who knows, maybe at some point he's a true number 1. So once again, I want to wish you guys a very, very happy new year. Let's make 2021 the best year yet. Let's make it much better than 2020, especially here on the Chiefs Report. Subscribe if you haven't already. I would greatly appreciate it. We have big plans on the channel in 2021, starting with another Super Bowl run. So keep it here, hit that sub button, and we'll see you next time.